This video is about archive.today, not archive.org. And if I say archive.org by accident, I'm sorry, because I use them both in tandem in two windows on everything. So if I get it wrong, I didn't mean archive.org. Dear archive.today and all the other variations after the dot, owner, a single individual who did this. You're going to do the following because you're going to be proactive about it. Let me explain this to you very, very, very fucking clearly. No, I'm not miladying, white knighting. You're going to shut up and sit there and listen. If I had the ability right now, as a petty bastard that I am, to take every dime out of every rich bastard's account and give it to every poor person, pay off every student loan, pay off every car debt, house debt, everything. Solve the world's problem. Yes, money can buy happiness. If I had the ability to do that, I wouldn't sacrifice all of the good I could do by being a little bitch and screwing with somebody specifically because I didn't like them. I would take advantage of the power, do as much good as possible, and not let anybody find out I did it because I don't want the credit or the blame or the punishment. I want the change and improvement. Why am I bringing that up? Do you know how many people in history have had access to great, powerful things that could have changed the world, but decided to be a petty little bitch and shoot themselves in the dick? Most of them. We all are self-destructive idiots. So this message is to the person running, it's a person, running archive.today. You will publicly post that you are a obstinate, petty, little person, a little jerk, an asshole. That you're completely and irrevocably guilty of doing something to harass somebody on the internet. I'm not doing this as a white knight miladying or whatever the fuck anybody might say here. You're going to publicly admit you're completely and utterly guilty of this, and you did this. 2, you're going to take every other statement you had up, down, where you're trying to soft pedal this bullshit you did, and you're going to state everything I've said before this point about this incident or any other incident that I've been involved in, I was wrong. Next, you're going to state Archive Today is a project that has had a massive effect on actual elections in countries and has had an actual effect on the world. And you're going to state, I am guilty of falsifying archives on Archive Today, and I will revert all of those alterations. You will throw yourself on the complete lack of mercy the internet has, and you will state categorically, you are wrong, you are guilty, and you're not going, and you're also going to say, I will never recant this. This is literally going to be what you do. And you're going to put at the top, Dear Wikipedia, please don't delete all of the archives that lead to Archive Today, because some of them are the only ones we have, and without them, a shit ton of evidence is gone. The original purpose for Archive Today, if you're not aware of it, this is a one-person project most likely, was to make a way to reliably and at one time, yes, this is the wording, legally submit in a court of law accurate copies of something regardless of, and this was actually the purpose, regardless of intent by the person, keeping it in context, and very importantly at one time, it will also go around any website that had a robots.txt file that said don't do this. That made you, if you were running a website like Twitter, you'd have to block them, which Twitter has blocked Archive Today. Why? Because after Elon Musk got in there, everybody who posts something stupid and self-incriminating wanted them blocked because, again, you could take an archive, and if you could prove it hadn't been altered, it was admissible in court. That meant that people could archive things through archive.org, which would give it the validity they were looking for, and then do what I do, use Archive Today to archive the archive.org pages so that it would be mechanically impossible to delete, because archive.org lets people take shit down so you can't hold them accountable by editing a couple of lines in a text file, because archive.org kept obeying the robots.txt rule that nobody asked for, that said the robots.txt file could be used to erase things. You know that expression, I kept the receipts? Half the receipts on the planet are disappearing for the archives on Wikipedia. Dear owner of archive.today, you have just shit in your own mouth. Your entire project was to make it to where people couldn't erase history on the internet. And then you did some petty, ego-based bullshit where you went after a website called gyrovauge.com. You will publicly post an apology to that website and its owner, along with what I've told you to say. You will say you were completely wrong and completely guilty of doing this as a DDoS attack. And also you will apologize to everybody who used the website because you injected this in the JavaScript utility to check for bots. How ironic, because your website is defined as a goddamn bot. A while ago, you started doing these as image snapshots using compressed images, which is not the same thing as archiving the page, which can, in many cases, be pure text. Your website is invaluable, and you just decided over a period of, I don't know, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe a month or so, you decided to take all of your work and shit on it because someone said something you didn't like about, someone said something about you didn't like. Is that it? How many petty bitches have you helped take down by having your website simply exist and give us the ability to archive things? You have become the thing you fight. Publicly post that you were wrong, you're completely guilty, you're not begging for forgiveness because you don't deserve it, but you're asking Wikipedia to to leave your archive links up, and you will go back through and use the same bot and unalter all of the links. And you will publicly state the software method you did for it and completely and utterly incriminate yourself. You will stop saying you didn't do it. You will not justify it. You will not deflect. No Trumpisms. You will simply state, I am completely guilty. I am completely wrong. Please don't destroy the usefulness of my work for my stupid bullshit that I did over a period of months. And pertinently, you will apologize to the owner of gyrovague.com. And you will say that you are not only wrong for doing this, but they were perfectly, you will say this, they have a perfect right to criticize you, and you deserve the criticism retroactively because you've proven you're an asshole. You're going to not eat crow, you're going to eat the whole goddamn murder. You're going to do this because if you don't, Wikipedia will have the equivalent to around 500,000 fucking pages, no longer have enough citations to back up what it says, because most of the shit that was archived through your website is not archived on archive.org because archive.org plays by the fucking rules and won't archive a website properly. It won't, because the site will play tricks on it. Your site, Archive Today, fucking got around it. We can make copies of things. The only way I was able to make some citations that stopped people from doing stuff like lying to their viewers or lying to their followers, or in one case, lying to their churchgoers, and in another case, I actually might have affected, and by nature you, a government, the Philippines. The only reason I was able to do it is Archive Today would ignore the rules people presume we need to have so that they can have wiggle room to get rid of files on the net. And all you have to do is admit the obvious. You had more than a moment, it's like a month, of being a dick. You pulled this shit, and in effect, you violated literally every user's trust. You violated your own mission statement for your website to archive copies of things so people can't get away with shit. And you attacked someone for simply criticizing you and or annoying you. You let your ego get in the way, and now we are dealing with a crisis of data being destroyed. And no, it's not about getting around paywalls on New York Times website. That's not relevant. That has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the fact that the other alternatives like Megalodon or Megalon or whatever it's called, or a bunch of others, all have some issue with Every fucking browser on the planet. Some goddamn tick where they need you to use a very oddly specific one, or it has to have certain things turned off. Or in my case, when I was trying to look at the evidence presented by Wikipedia, everything was in microprint and I couldn't zoom in on it because the website that did the archiving insisted on being extremely persistent and making it an unreadable page for some goddamn reason. Meanwhile, Archive Today would have worked. As of right now, Archive Today, archive.org, and Wikipedia are, whether they know it or not, are now under DDoS attack. I can't reach Archive Today. It's dead. I can't reach Wikipedia, and I can't reach, of all things, archive.org. They don't work. They don't resolve. My internet service provider may be detecting the arguments going back and forth, or people archiving, as being another DDoS attack. You have triggered something that could have a cascading effect on fucking up, literally doing research, being able to find things, being able to get past paywall blocks is not part of it, but being able to get past the Great Firewall of China is. All of this because you chose to become petty and you, yes, I checked your blog, you decided to backpedal a little. You decided to justify your behavior. It's not justifiable. Throw yourself on the complete lack of mercy the internet has, cancel yourself, and say you're going to never do it again, and say you were completely wrong. The one thing that we never see from sociopaths, Donald Trump, etc., is they never just fucking say, I was completely wrong, this is exactly what I did, this is exactly why it was wrong, and I'll never do it again. You know, being a goddamn grown-up. And all you have to do is that. Period, full stop. Just do it. And then put at the end, please leave the links on Wikipedia. I did something ban-worthy, but let me do better. Everybody makes an incredibly stupid mistake in their life they regret. Your entire purpose for creating Archive Today wasn't to DDoS some random person posting that I've never heard of till today. It was to catch people when they do shit that's actually going to end up with them going to court. Your website and archive.org combined have allowed me to prevent people from harassing me over the net, threatening me, stalking me, and to other people. And now I'm dealing with seeing internet service providers considering blocking you, because now it's a convenient excuse so that they don't have to worry about any of their edgelord depositors and investors being upset that we keep archiving, or where we were able to archive, all of Donald Trump's tweets that prove that he is a liar. This is like you having a responsibility to detect, be an early warning system for a nuclear attack and deciding to play a joke. You own it. You apologize for it. You say you understand the gravity of the situation, and you apologize profusely and beg people to just allow things to stay the way they were when they worked, and you'll go back and fix things. And you will yes, you will publicly apologize to the person who runs the blog and say they were completely right in everything they said about you and completely right in their behavior, and you have no objections. You're going to literally, everything you said that was nasty, every argument, you're going to make the opposite statement and say you're completely wrong for making those statements. You have no justification for it. You're going to completely destroy your ability to have this argument and never bring it up again. And you're going to admit you did a DDoS attack. You're not going to argue. None. Okay, I'm going to leave a link to the specific statement on Gyrovague, or Gyrovague, and I don't know how it's pronounced because maybe it's a hero sandwich. And you're going to go there. I'll really quickly do this. August 5th, 2023, a blog post called Archive Today on the Trail of the Mysterious Guerrilla Archivist of the Internet. A long time ago. And then this DDoS attack starts January 11th, 2026. That's a big turd you had cooking in your ass. Long term. Douche it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yes, if you are watching, the guy running Archive Today, you will absolutely do this, and you will beg everybody not to fucking shoot this and not to shoot down this usefulness of your website. You created something that is much more important than you are. Acknowledge it. Act like it. Do better.